Hey, hey, hey. Hey, everybody. It's Shantika once again. Welcome, welcome to Cycle 11. Can you guys believe it? Cycle 11. Yeah. I've already been through the whole, pissed offness about it. And I'm cool now. Because AF is gone. She went back to wherever it is that she originates. And so she's gone back, and I'm feeling a lot better today. And yeah, so let's give you guys. So much has happened since the last time I talked to y'all. All right, I am no longer working at that dreadful place that I was working at before, and I'm so happy that I'm not. And I won't get into it, but it was a blessing in disguise. I'm glad that part is over with. I can move on and get a job that is reasonable. So reasonable time wise, because for those who don't know, I started working there a week after we got married, so we never went on a honeymoon. And I was working 2 to 11, then I was working 3 to midnight, and then I reduced down to 12 to 9, and it was just non-stop, and plus with all the other crap that I was telling you guys about not too long ago. Now on top of that is that it's hard to work for a company where that screws over their customers, and so I had a hard time lying to people. And so last week I got really sick, and I couldn't go to work because I was hoarse, completely hoarse. And when you do customer service, you have to have a clear, professional type voice. And of course, I sounded like a frog times 1,000. And on top of that, I was hacking, sneezing, coughing, blowing my nose, and I made like 4 people sick in the place. And so yeah, I didn't go to work. And guess what? They let me go, and I was happy to go. Some jobs where they fire you just like, thank you so much for firing me. Like, you did what I wouldn't do. So I was just like, yes. And so, yeah, I was like, okay, I was legitimately sick. You knew I was sick, so like, what the hell? Oh, you don't have any sick time, so you can't call off. Like, okay, so would you rather me sound ridiculous over the phone, or, well, not sound at all because I couldn't talk? But anyway, we're not even going to get into it. I was just like, where do I sign? When do I get my last check? I will see y'all people round the way. Peace out. And I was out of there. And I was just like, you know what, God, you have a funny sense of humor, because the Lord knew. Because I used to dread going there. If you get up and you go to a job that you dread, if you can't quit, if your situation doesn't, try to find something like ASAP, because you're not going to do a good job. And regardless of what you're doing, you want to do the best job that you can do. But anyway, aside from that, I'm looking for another gig. And in the meantime, I'm working on myself, getting fit, and, getting my mind in order, and just rekindling what, we couldn't. I mean, we were just like 2 ships passing the night, because I was working these ridiculous shifts. And so, and then I was stressed out, really stressed out, because I had a real bad, I hate lying to people. When you work for a bad company that screws over their customers, it's like, and then you have to do tricks, and it wasn't a good look. And so I had a lot of guilt, aside, besides all of that. But anyway, let's discuss this cycle. Cycle was a trip, honey, because I think with me being sick, it just made the flu worse. I don't know if that made sense. It didn't make sense when I heard it over again in my head. I guess the whole period thing with the symptoms and stuff, and then you having the flu, it just made it worse. And so I was a big miserable mess. And so I'm starting to kind of get over it. My nose is still doing what it does, but I'm not sneezing, and my eyes are not watering. But that's a good thing. I could deal with blowing my nose every 5 seconds. That's fine. But what I did, for those who don't know, my cycle, I go on firstresponse.com. Today's the first day of no period, so I'm done. I went on to see when I am fertile, the next time I'm fertile, and I put in, you go to, for those who don't know, let me just, say that. Go to firstresponse.com and then go to the ovulation calculator, put in the first day of your period, your last period. For me, it was the 20th of September. And then how long your cycles are. My cycle is 26 days religiously. And so they told me that Sunday, September 30th to Thursday, October 4th would be my most fertile days. And so if I conceive within that time period, my due date will be Thursday, June 27th. Now, it's not something that I, swear by. It just gives me an idea of where I'm at, because I don't really want to buy the OPKs, not interested at all. So that's what it is. And so funny, because my cycle came like a little early. It was supposed to come on the 20th, which was Thursday, and it came like at 10:30 at night on Wednesday. I was just like, well, dang, couldn't I enjoy the rest of Wednesday and then you come like early in the morning? And so I was just like, you suck, period, AF lady. Yeah, I was like, damn, let me get a couple of hours so I can at least, tie my husband over until, this cycle is over, because, we don't do anything during that time. And so he was just, but we're in football season, so he's a little distracted, so he's more excited about the game. That game is coming on, and so he wasn't really hounding me, I was hounding him. I was like, oh my God. He's just like, your ear's not over, get away. I was hounding him. And so it's cool. And so I'm gonna, so yeah, we're back today. And so, yeah, so we're pretty much cool in that department, because we BD pretty much every single day, depending on how, tired he is. If he's really, really tired, then we'll do it like every other day. But we normally just every day. That never stops for us, because we really, really enjoy each other. So that's just, it's cool. And I think that's the most important, because I was doing a little bit of reading on some sites about conception and TTCing, and a lot of people say that you really have to enjoy it, because if you don't enjoy the process, then it just makes the process so that much longer. And as you can very well see, we are in cycle 11, so who knows. And even last night I kind of like looked on the brighter side of things, because I was just like, well, you never know, maybe God is just giving me, setting me up for a cool Christmas present or Thanksgiving present, hopefully Christmas, because I think that'd be the coolest thing. I wouldn't have to buy nobody jack, because me announcing that I'm pregnant is gift enough. That would be so cool. I know it's cheap, I don't care, but that would be so cool, right? Because I already have an idea of what I was gonna give for Christmas. And so that wasn't, that was inexpensive. But I think, man, if I was able to give the gift of another grandchild, man, oh man, I wouldn't have to buy nobody jack, because everybody's like sitting on the edge of their seats, like waiting for me to announce that I'm pregnant, because nobody asks me directly, but my husband gets, oh, is she pregnant? Yeah, da 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 da. Even people ask my brother, like, we don't live in the same house. And so everybody is just, once I get pregnant, that'll be like the biggest thing since Obama came into town. Oh, no, I'm exaggerating, but everybody's looking forward to it, because my nephew is the first grandchild, and I honestly don't think that they're having any more at all. And so, because when you put yourself in a situation where you've never been in contact with any children, and your first biological child is the first, time you've ever had to interact with a baby, it is kind of like a culture shock. Me, on the other hand, I've raised so many children, like it's ridiculous. I've raised people's kids like from infancy until up until the tween, because everybody's tweens now. And so I really haven't. It'll be kind of like a culture shock for me at first because I really haven't handled a newborn. Oof, how old is my cousin? He's gonna be 10. Yeah, so my nephew doesn't count because his mother was on some other stuff. So we didn't get that infancy interaction. But anyway, that's another story for another day. But yeah, so we plan on having children. You know what I'm saying? So it won't be like a big shock to us. We're planning our family, so it's not like they would have to wait forever for another grandchild. Plus, on my husband's side, my husband is also the youngest, just like me, and his nephew is like 15. So it's kind of like it'll be like a kind of like a first grandchild type situation because it's been so long since they've had a baby in the family. So it'd be kind of cool. I wouldn't have to buy nobody Jack, boy. Just the fact of me being pregnant, and so that's what I was thinking about last night. I was like, man, that'd be so awesome, right? That'd be so awesome. And so that kind of built my spirits back up. See, sometimes it's like, I don't know, things happen for a reason, because you never know. And so a lot of times it's good, like when you're faced in a situation like in this realm of TTCing and not, sure when you're going to conceive and all this stuff like that. It's always kind of good to look on the bright side because, what other side are you going to look on? I mean, you don't want to stay in a funk because that's not cool. I'm not going to lie. I did was a little bit distraught, when AF did come. But then I just started, looking on the bright side and, trying to find, the positive in the situation. And that's just my advice to anybody. It's not easy. This process is like the hardest process in the world because things that you would never encounter before, like you never noticed before you started TTCing, you notice now, and it affects you more. And so, I just tell people, don't tell me if you're pregnant. I don't want to know. Just like, don't tell me about nobody else. Because people just feel like they need to call me and say, guess who's pregnant? I'm just like, not me, so I don't care. And it's not being mean. It's just like, Jesus. Like, before it used to be like, who girl? Like, you know what I mean? Because I wasn't thinking about that. But now that I'm TTCing, it's like, I'm sensitive. I don't want to hear it. If you're pregnant, tell me after I get pregnant. And then I'll be able to congratulate you. But other than that, it's like, psh, don't worry about that. But yeah, so I'm gonna be doing a lot of reading, going to the library and stuff, just getting out the house and making sure I keep on top of exercise. I told y'all I'm committed to 5 days a week, and I'm not playing. So after this, I'm gonna work it out. I have to work out all the time, but after I met my husband, I got lazy, and so we want to get ourselves together and get rid of some of this belly fat, like they say on TV, and so his little fishies can have an easy path to swim. So yeah, but other than that, I mean, I'm doing pretty well. Looking for another gig, a better job, and I do have a couple of prospects in mind that are reasonable. And so just pray for me, y'all. Pray for us. We're doing really, really well marriage wise. This week we're gonna be celebrating 4 months of marriage. I'm so excited and so happy. Like, I mean, when I lost my job that day, my husband was just like, don't worry about it, I'll take care of you. You just don't even, I hated that damn job anyway. You being out all times of the night, but I'll take care of you. You just take your time, look for another job, and we'll be fine. You know what I mean? And so it just made me love him that much more because he is such a strong support system. And even in TTCing, that's what you need. You need a really strong support system, a person that's gonna really like hold you up. you know, because it's not an easy process. And even with working and everything like that, it's not easy. And so when, you know, you're blessed with a really good partner, it just makes life's struggles just a little bit easier. And so, you know, I really had to step back and thank God, you know, for him, you know, really thank God for him, because he blessed me with a wonderful, 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 wonderful guy. And I just wish that for everybody, because they're, you know, nowadays it's just like everything is so superficial. You know, people just take things for granted. And, you know, my heart bleeds for a lot of, you know, these young ladies out here. They'll never, a lot of them will never experience true love. And that's just like the craziest thing in the world. Like, they'll never experience that. Just imagine living your entire life, just you've never been truly in love with anybody. That's just heartbreaking. And so I thank God. And for those of you who have husbands, you know, permanent significant others, thank God for them. Yeah, I mean, they get on our nerves. You know how men are. They just can't help it. That's what they do. And so, you know, my gift to him, of course, unbeknownst to him, I'm going to make it my duty just not to gripe about certain things, just give him a break. You know what I mean? Be like extra sweet to him. Because to me that means more than anything. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times we just get kind of caught up and we fuss or whatever. And, well, I don't know about y'all, but I know I fuss because my husband doing some foolishness. So I have to fuss at him. But, you know, right now he's like stepping to the plate, and he's just being a wonderful provider and a wonderful support for me. And so I'm going to make it my business, at least for the next few weeks or so, or just, I'm going to really make an honest effort to be a little extra sweeter and not gripe about anything. If it's not that serious, I'll just let it go. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I just wanted to give a shout out to one of my subscribers. Hey, Mrs. Smith, I did get your message, and I sent you a message back, but for some reason it didn't. I don't know if you got it, but let me know. Hit me up. And that goes for if you want to, you know, send me a private message, you are more than welcome to do so. I'm like the coolest person you ever did want to meet. But yeah, I know in this form it's kind of hard to trust people, but you ain't got to tell me nothing personal about you, honey. Just say hey. Just say hey, girl, and I'll be like, hey, girl, back. You know what I mean? Because we all, this form is just for us to lift each other up and just say, look, sister, I am pulling for you. I am praying for you. I'm praying that you get your BFP. And I appreciate that more than anything, because you never know. By you blessing somebody, by giving them encouraging words, God is going to bless you too. And we're all going to come out on top. And then when we have a house full of children, we're like, remember we prayed for these little bad behind you? I prayed for your butt. Straighten up and act right. So, you know, let's just lift each other up. And that's it. I would sing for y'all, but my voice is raggedy. And so I'm going to sing for y'all next time. I'm going to sing for y'all, because I love to sing. And I don't know if you guys heard me sing, but I do sing. And I'm going to sing for y'all next time when my voice gets right. And at the end of the video, I'm going to just like, you know, just a little praise and worship song. And that's my little treat, my gift to you all for you all being so wonderful and so supportive. So until next time, I will see you guys later. I'll probably, if anything happens, I'll, you know, upload. But if nothing happens, then I will see you all next week. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I will see you later. Peace and hair grease. Bye.